Hi guys, welcome back to the channel. Today I'm back again in my BMW 330e. Unfortunately though, for the last time, she's leaving me. Well, I'm leaving her. That's what we all say in breakups, don't we? It was my decision, not theirs. I did it, yeah. But this one actually is my decision. So why am I getting rid of it? Well, if you already watched the channel, you'll probably have guessed. But if you don't, recently I bought a 2012 L322 Range Rover Westminster. Now the plan for that car was originally going to be just for winter, maybe keep it a little longer. I just had a big sort of itch that needed scratching in respect to a 4x4. I live in a really rural area and I'm always quite jealous of people sort of roaming around in these old beasts and yeah, just looking quite smug in winter. So thought, fancied a bit of that, and it was either between an L322 or it was between a first generation facelift Porsche Cayenne GTS. Obviously went for the L322, and yeah, I don't regret that decision one bit so far anyway. But my kind of plan to keep it for the short term sort of went out the window because it's all I've driven since I've had it. And you know, I thought for the first few weeks, like, this will fade, and it's just the excitement of the new car, the new environment that's getting me going and making me choose that over this. But it's been even longer, and every day without fail, you know, the keys are all lined up. The Range Rover is what I go for, even though it's 7 years older than this. So after a while, I kind of had to, you know, take a bit of a look in the mirror and think, well, why are we actually keeping this? You know, when I looked before, this hasn't been used for nearly 3 weeks. And, you know, this is by no means a cheap car just to have, like, knocking around, surplus to requirements. So after a while, I kind of came to the realization that, look, you know, you either kind of use it or lose it. So we're going to lose it, and daily with the L322. I'll probably watch this video back in a few months' time and be like, what on earth were you thinking? And I'll have some sort of catastrophic issue with the L322. But in present land, that's the decision I've made and what I kind of want to do. It's funny actually, in my head I'm thinking, oh yeah, sell this and you know, bank quite a bit of cash. And that you know, think about the price difference between the cars. But I know for a fact that Range Rover is going to be eyeing up my wallet fairly soon. Right now, you know, it's running sweet. There's no problems, but you know, these are not cheap cars to run, and they're not incredibly well known for reliability. But that's the decision I've made, and I'm sticking to it. So yeah, that's the reason I'm getting rid of it. Just to be clear, my kind of choice to do this isn't really to do with the car itself. You know, if you're in the market for one, do not be put off by me getting rid of it at all. You know, I've done a lot of other videos on this car that should sway you to getting one. You know, as an overall saloon package and daily driver, it's as close to perfection as you can get. Me personally, though, anyone who knows me knows that I get rid of cars all the time. You know, it's very rare I even have a car for sort of 12 months. I kind of swap them out at, you know, the 6-month intervals all the time. That's just, I guess, one of my vices. I kind of like variety. You know, I like having a different sort of environment, something else to play with. But I suppose, as well as that, the BMW is fantastic. But I think, again, I've said it in other reviews of it. For me, it's just a bit too perfect. It's a bit too clinical. You know, it lacks character. And I think that's not just even this car, it's a lot of modern cars. They just don't really do it for me. You know, I'm not saying I want it to break down and, oh, do you remember that time? And, you know, you can tell stories about it. But it kind of just lacks a bit of personality. And I don't like that. Which is why, you know, being a bit of a moron and looking to daily drive a 2012 L322 Range Rover. Yeah, we'll see how that pans out. But yeah, I guess that's another reason why you know, this is going, is I do, as well as like mixing it up and having a bit of variety, I just want a bit of character. Again, these are all very niche and first world problems, but I'm just trying to explain how I feel about the car. Is there anything else? I guess as well as that, I've been quite fortunate with maintenance with these. You know, when I got this is technically a 4-year-old car, and apart from having to change a tyre because it got a puncture in it, I've not had to pay a single penny. Obviously screen washer fluid, but that's it. I've not had to even put any oil in it. So yeah, I kind of don't want to stretch my luck with that. And feel like it's a good time to move it on before, potential bills roll in. I think you'll still be fine, but as long as you service it and everything. But overall, I've just gone the wrong way. But yeah, it just seems like another reason to kind of move it on. I guess linked to maintenance, there has been something, I guess, niggling at the back of my mind with this car, and it's almost down to like longevity. Because this is a plug-in hybrid, it does have a finite life at some point in respect to its battery pack. I know obviously it has its engine, but the electrical cells do degrade, batteries degrade. At some point, the cells or the whole unit itself will need replacing. Weirdly, I kind of don't like that. Funnily enough, I was chatting to someone at work about EVs, and he has an EV and he leases them, which is probably quite a wise decision anyway when it comes to cars. But his sort of attitude towards it was, well, if it breaks, I'll just get another. And, that seems fine on the surface of it. But the more I thought about it is, these aren't small electrical items. These aren't iPhones. These are huge pieces of metal that, the amount it's taken to actually make and manufacture these in respect of, an environmental element is huge. So to have this sort of, I guess, discard mentality, it kind of didn't really sit right for me. And I think with the L322, I'm almost trying to do the opposite. It's done 150,000 miles. How far can I really take it before it's dead? I'm going to look after it. I'm going to maintain it. But kind of want to go the other way. I feel like in the UK especially, there's almost this fear of a car over 100,000 miles. But cars like that have such, a life left in them if they're taken care of and they're looked after to begin with. I'm not trying to sound preachy here, but that's kind of what I'm aiming for with the Range Rover, and I just know I would never be able to do that with this because of just the way it's set up with it being a hybrid. So I guess that's another reason, but it's not a main reason. Anyway, I feel like I've totally rambled off there. So yeah, the BMW is going, unfortunately. I feel like I still know these cars really, really well. So look, if you do have any questions in the comments about ownership of it, do let me know. I'd be interested. And yeah, you're going to be seeing a lot more of the L322 going forward. And I think the L322 is going to be seeing a lot more of my wallet. I have a feeling they're going to become best friends. For the time being, I feel the Range Rover can cover most of my bases. I don't really have the itch for anything else, which is good. That'll keep my missus happy, especially. I've still got the 996. That's currently nice and tucked away for winter. Obviously still needs quite a bit of work on it, but there should be some content on that coming fairly soon. So yeah, that's kind of it. I hope you enjoyed the video. Hopefully I didn't bore you to death this time. If you enjoyed it, do give it a thumbs up. And if you're not already subscribed to the channel, do give that button a little slap for me. It really does help. And yeah, I'll catch you in the next one. Cheers, guys.